This video is about reasons to be hopeful in politics, even when things aren't going your way, and perhaps they haven't been going your way for a long period of time. So what I'm going to try and do in this video is offer some reasons why you should always be hopeful in politics, that things can change, and change for the better.
Has to fight the same battles again and again and again. There's no final victory and no final defeat. And therefore, how you approach the problems depends on whether you believe that they can be resolved or whether you don't. And this is the reason for optimism, not complacency, but optimism. See, I've thought for some time that progress is made because there are always two flames burning in the human heart. The flame of anger against injustice and the flame of hope. You can build a better world. And my job at my age is to go around fanning both those flames.
I don't know if anybody else is a bit like this, but I often find myself returning to Tony Benn and just watching clips of him online. And I think the reason that I find him so inspiring, just as many other people did, both when he was alive and since, is because he exudes this childlike optimism about what's possible, and he speaks so eloquently, and when he speaks it feels like almost anything is possible. But it's also grounded in a hard reality, which says to us that if you're engaging in politics, you're engaging in an activity that is unlike many others. It's not like supporting a football team or playing a sport where you engage in the contest and there's a winner and there's a loser and then you all go home. Politics is an endless struggle, particularly if you are on the left, if you're on the side of progress. It's a struggle to maintain rights, freedoms. It's a fight for equality and justice. And it's a never-ending struggle because even when you've won those things, they need to be defended. And the only way they can be defended is through constant struggle. And so we owe it to that struggle to not engage in the self-indulgence, actually, that it takes for us to feel sad about politics. Sadness is just not a helpful emotion to have if you're engaging in politics, because it kind of misunderstands just what's at stake and just how important it is. How much better is it to respond to that feeling by saying, well, what am I going to do in my local community? What am I going to involve myself in that's going to make a difference? And so I think that's a reason for optimism. Politics is not something which is static. It's something that we can and we should try and make a difference in. So last time I was feeling pretty negative in politics, it was just after Keir Starmer had become leader of the Labour Party, actually, and he started to move the party to the right, and I was feeling really deflated. So what did I do? Well, for a change, I followed my own advice. So first of all, as an act of self-care, I left the Labour Party, and then I thought, well, what is it I can do to try and make a difference locally? And so what I did was I became the first elected union rep in my workplace. We started to have union meetings in a workplace which had always felt not very democratic, like people's voices weren't heard, and we started to make a difference. We won union recognition, we threatened strike action and won a big pay rise. We improved terms and conditions like sick pay, and over time we doubled the union membership in my workplace. Now look, these are only small things, but it's just an illustration of what I mean. Change is possible if we really focus on who we are and where we're situated within our lives, and we look at our local communities. We can find areas where we can make a meaningful difference politically. That might be getting involved in a local party, it might be taking action through a pressure group, or it might be doing what I did, which is joining a trade union and getting active. But my point is, we can make a difference. The political system is designed to make us feel disempowered and as if nothing we do ever matters. And that's because our conception of politics is reduced by the discourses around politics to just being about voting at general elections. And of course, we can see that often voting at a general election makes no difference at all. I mean, after all, many votes under first past the post are wasted altogether because they either don't go towards electing an MP, or we're voting in a safe seat where the same party's been elected for generations. And so the political system can make us feel disempowered, especially when the two parties seem to stand for the same things. But I think it's designed to make us feel like that. And what we can do to liberate ourselves from that discontent is to do what I'm suggesting and make a difference locally, and don't allow the political system to tell you that you are disempowered. Go out there and do something. I think there's a kind of naive view in politics, often held by liberals, which says that hope always wins out, or which says that the universe is bending towards justice. None of this is true, but what we can understand from history is that people acting together, collectively, can make a difference. And so the people that inspire me most are people who are just ordinary people going about their lives when they decide that they're going to involve themselves in a process of change. And they end up becoming really inspiring people because they found themselves in a set of circumstances that meant, from their point of view at least, they had to do something. They had to be somebody. And of course, when we look back at those people, we say, well, God, they were really inspiring. But from their point of view, they were just living their lives. They were just doing what had to be done. And it's the ordinary hope that we find in those people that really lifts me up. It's the inspiration that pushes me on to continue to be engaged in politics and to continue to find hope despite the circumstances. We find hope ultimately through action, through acting collectively together to try and make this world a better place. And we're not seeing a lot of hope in our politics at the moment. And so I guess my overriding message in this video is we've got to be the hope that we want to see in our politics. We've got to come together collectively and try and make something happen, because history is made, history moves through people doing exactly that. So that's what I encourage you to do. This is the end of the video. Let me know if you are actually going to do something by putting something in the comments. Let me know what you're going to do, in other words. But for now, goodbye and best wishes.